Old, how are you doing? Good morning, it's 7:25 here in Australia. Just thought I'd do a quick video while I'm getting ready for work. Yeah, I am a normal bloke. I have a normal job. I do this in my spare time for the laugh. So yeah, let's get on with it. Wanted to do a video on a post that I wrote quite some time back now. It was to do with two hormones, HSL and LPL. Hormone sensitive lipase and lipoprotein lipase. Now, these two hormones work to make you fatter and thinner on a cellular level. What LPL does, lipoprotein lipase, is it activates on a fat cell to draw fat into it, but it can't just get in. It's a triglyceride. It's made up of, I think it's 2 or 3 fat molecules and a sugar bound together. So that's too big to get into the fat cell. So what happens is the LPL breaks it down and reassembles it inside the fat cell. A bit like when you buy a wardrobe from IKEA and, well, not from IKEA, sorry, when you buy a wardrobe second hand and it's assembled and you can't get it through the door, or a bed, you can't get it through the door, you've got to take it to bits, you've got to bring it through the door one piece at a time and then reassemble it in the room where you want it. This is exactly the same thing. So the LPL breaks down the triglyceride, drags it through into the fat cell or the adipose cell, and reassembles it back inside, and that makes that fat cell slightly larger. Now, what HSL does, it does the reverse. So it dismantles the triglyceride inside the fat cell, brings it out one piece at a time, reassembles it on the outside, and then drags it to somewhere useful, like a muscle. Say you're running or you're doing some, I don't know, some bicep work in the gym or whatever. So the HSL activity increases on whatever muscles are needing it. And the fat cell is mobilised for energy. Right. So how does this mean we get fat? So Gary Taubes has a real good explanation this in his book. Why we get fat, and I read it over and over and over until I got the idea, because it was quite a difficult thing to understand. So what happens in women is they have a heap of activity below the waist. Obviously it gives them that pear shape. The LPL activity increases on the hips, gets worse as we get older, and then it becomes very difficult to free it up because we're not eating the right things. So where it manifests in men is around here and gives us that typical dad bod. As you start to progress down the path and start to put on weight, a couple of other things come into play, like men develop man boobs, that kind of thing. And this is LPL activity increasing in those areas to get the fat in, and you're not being able to mobilise it for usage during, well, movement and exercise. So yes, and women, when they get pregnant as well, LPL activity increases here and it increases here to counterbalance this. So that makes sense, I think. And on men, yep, like I said, it all gets around here. So it's been figured out that insulin works to inhibit the HSL. So the hormone that works to get the fat out and mobilise it is suppressed by insulin, which is bad. And LPL, which works to get the fat in, the process is enhanced by insulin. So if you're eating foods that spike insulin and glucose, you are straight away, you're working against your own body. You're on a downward spiral. So the way to get that under control is to eat low glycemic foods, and by that I don't mean ice cream, because ice cream is technically low glycemic because it's 50% fat, 50% carbohydrate. It doesn't have that low glycemic effect on your body. What you need to be doing is eating foods from my shopping list and foods from the list that I posted the other day. Keep the insulin low, keep the glucose load low, keep your insulin levels on an even keel, and then these hormones will start working correctly and you'll start losing weight from around here, and you'll start losing weight from around here, start losing weight from here, unless you're pregnant. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, private message, ask me on here, whatever. Cheers.